20 tips that could help you in your career as an ISSO. Tip number one, make sure you have an acronym list or glossary. So in this line of work, there are lots and lots of terms and acronyms that you have to learn: ATO, SSP, SAP, SAR. So make sure you have a list of acronyms readily available to you. And not only that, you're going to have systems that will have acronyms. So make sure you have an acronym list. Tip number two, make sure you request for a demo or a presentation of the system. A lot of times, your client will have a system in a test or development lab where they could demo the system to you and you can gain a better understanding of that system. It's easy to see something than read about something. So ask for a demo or for them to set out some time to present that system to you so you could understand that system. Tip number three, take notes. Always take notes when you're in meetings, when you're reading documents or reviewing documents, take notes and make sure you review the notes afterwards. If you're going to take notes, please do not use your phone because that could be observed as you, sending an email or sending a text message or social media, looking at social media. So make sure you're using a notepad or typing in your computer. Tip number four, know your resources. Know your resources. So as an ISSO, your role is almost like an ambassador or a middle person, or a facilitator. So a lot of times you're going to be asked questions. How do I get this? How do I do this? So you have to know where to locate that information. Sometimes you might get asked guidance on a particular thing, maybe a NIST guidance. So you need to know where to locate that information. You need to know who is responsible for something, because sometimes they'll ask you about something that has nothing to do with you. You would have to know where to point them to. Sometimes they might ask you a question involving privacy, and you might have a privacy office for that particular organization. So you point them to the privacy officer, just an example. Tip number five, make sure you plan your day. Plan your day. A lot of times you'll have meetings, last minute meetings that are put on your calendar. So my tip is a night before, check your calendar. Just make sure there are no pop-up or surprise meetings, and prepare for those meetings ahead of time. So plan your day. Make sure you set reminders. As an ISSO, you're going to be faced with the task of tracking action items, tracking dates, due dates, and things of that nature. So make sure you set reminders so that you know if a due date is fast approaching or a task due date on a task is near. So make sure you set reminders so you can reach out to your client and request for that piece of evidence or that document within the right time. Tip number 7, make sure you type your task in your WSR as you complete those tasks. So what is a WSR? It's a weekly status report. This is, or sometimes it might be called a WAR, weekly activity report. So this is something that is a deliverable that you need to submit to your client every week. Sometimes it's at the end of the week. So to avoid you trying to remember all the tasks that you did throughout that week, what I would advise you to do is document everything in your WSR while you're completing the task. So that way you have everything ready for submission. Tip number 8, organize your document in folders and subfolders. So you're going to be faced with a ton of documents as an ISSO. So try to have things maybe in alphabetical order, have your folders grouped and organized so that you have maybe your policy and procedure documents in one folder, you have your training documents in another folder, you have your artifacts in another folder. Just make things organized, and trust me, this will make your life a whole lot easier because you're going to be asked for something and it'll be easy for you to find if you have things organized. Tip number 9, trust but verify. A lot of times, your client will tell you, oh yeah, we sent you this, or oh yeah, we have this ready, we're doing this, we're implementing this particular security control, we've configured this, we've configured that. Trust them, but verify. Always ask for the piece of evidence, ask for a screenshot, make sure that whatever they tell you they have or have done, make sure you're able to verify that. Tip number 10, always send emails. Send emails as a backup or just a way to, for CYA, cover your, a lot of times clients will try to pull a fast one on you. They will decide they have selective amnesia. Oh no, we never said this, we never said that. So always have an email trail of your communications with your client and their communication back to you, just as backup to cover your behind. Tip number 11, do not feel pressured to answer questions on the spot. So a lot of times as an ISSO, you might be called into a meeting or someone might send you an email or someone might send you a message within chat, or during the meeting, people might ask you, a question right on the spot. Don't feel pressured to give them an answer, especially if you do not know the answer. Use tactics like, I'll take an action item, or I'm not sure, or let me check back with my team and I'll get back to you. Don't always feel pressured to answer questions on the spot. Another thing that could help you with, these impromptu questions is to have a decision-making matrix. So in my program, in my ISSO course, I do have a decision-making matrix that gives you a response based on any type of question you're going to be asked. They ask you about connections. Your response in the matrix would be, provide an ISA, provide an MOU, provide diagram. If they ask you a question about encryption, you will have the corresponding answer within that matrix. So never feel pressured to answer questions on the spot and have a decision-making matrix. Tip number 12, research admin user manual, admin or user or security user manual. As an ISSO, you're going to be faced with systems that need to get authorization, systems that need to get ATOs. So as an ISSO, sometimes you'll be faced with new systems that you're not familiar with. One tip would be to go to the website of that operating system or application, download the user guide, the administration manual, and look at the security section. that will tell you all that pertains to security for that system. It will have things like access controls, auditing, encryption, backup, and things of that nature. This will help you when you are asking your client to implement security controls and they say, well, oh, we don't know how to do that, or the system is not capable of doing that. That's not a functionality of that system. You could always point back and say, well, I saw this admin guide and it did say you could do X, Y, Z. Tip number 13, as an ISSO, you're going to be sending documents for concurrence or approval. So you're going to be sending out documents for approval or for review. So tip number 13 is to make sure you highlight the document or add comments to the document that needs to be reviewed. So a lot of times you might have a document that is 100 or over 100 pages, and it's not logical for the recipient to review all those pages. And so what you could do to save time and to get a faster response is to highlight the sections that you need reviewed or you need a comment on. And that way they'll respond to your request on time. Tip number 14, double check your documents before you send them out. So because this role as an ISSO is very document intensive, document heavy, you're going to be reviewing a lot of documents. And of course, this type of situation is prone to errors. So make sure you have a checklist of some sort to review documents. So maybe you could have something that says review date, verify POC is accurate, verify POC email is accurate, verify system name is accurate, verify the version is correct, check the revision history, check for the signature page. So you can have a checklist of things to look at while you're editing a document so that you make sure there is no mistake when you send the document out. Tip number 15, always use positive language. Remember, in cybersecurity, when you deal with your client, you're still expected to use customer service, good customer service. A lot of times people view the cybersecurity department as an impediment to success or a roadblock. They see us as the police or the bad guys that are trying to stop them from doing things. So you always have to keep that in mind. If someone asks you something that's not allowed, instead of saying no, a tip would be to restate the question or rephrase the answer to the question with what the policy says instead. So example could be, are we allowed to store data on USB drives? If the company's policy is no, don't avoid using the word no. Just say, well, Jack, the company's policy states that we're not allowed to install or download information onto USB drives. So I've avoided saying no by saying what the policy for USB drives and data storage is. For some reason, no just has a bad taste in people's mouths. So just avoid saying the word no and use positive communication instead. Tip number 16, avoid using technical lingo or jargon. So when you are presenting a system or an issue, avoid using things like, oh, you're going to SSH and port 22, and things like that could confuse your audience. Definitely know your audience. If you are talking to a technical person, then it's okay. But if you're talking to someone on the C-suite level, like the CIO, the CISO, or the CTO, you could avoid using technical um, terms and try to explain things in a simple way that people could understand. Um, Try to use analogies and things, examples and things like that. Tip number 17, write down your task. Make sure that you write down your task. It is very easy to forget things. So make sure you document your task somewhere. And for me, I like to document my task. And once I'm completed with my task, I mark it as complete. You could use tools like Teams to track your task and mark it as complete, or even Outlook to track your task and document your task. Tip number 18, use templates. Use templates. So for policies, procedures, make sure that you have templates available to use and edit, and this will save you a lot of time. Also, create templates for email communication. So if there is an email that you typically will send out, maybe at the end of a review, maybe you have like a canned response. Dear so and so, I have reviewed XYZ document and found the following errors, or found that there are no errors. Just an email that you typically would send out, have a canned or template response for that you could quickly edit. And this will save you a lot of time. Tip number 19, make sure you take time to network and socialize. It's important to build a good rapport with your colleagues and the different departments or different work streams. I know of a manager that I had that would do nothing and basically go around talking to other people, mentioning the tasks that I actually completed as though he completed those tasks. And so, because I wasn't in the state of mind to network or socialize, I didn't get the credit. Then the other good thing about socializing and networking is good for people to kind of know, place a face with a name. And when you do ask for a favor or a request, it's not coming from a stranger. Also, when you do send out an email, because people know the type of person you are, it reduces the chances of people misreading or misunderstanding your email. And then the other factor is that it helps you in your case for promotion and things of that nature. So it's always good to network, socialize, and build, a good relationship with your different work streams and colleagues. Tip number 20, make sure that you always keep on learning. As an ISSO, you're in the tech field, and there's always new policies, there's always new technology that's coming out, so always try to stay informed. How do you stay informed? Make sure you subscribe to YouTube channels of people in the cybersecurity space. Go on LinkedIn, follow people who are subject matter experts. Also, you could sign up for alerts from CISA and different organizations. That way you stay informed. All right, I hope this was helpful. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe to the channel. All right, until next time.
Hey, if you're interested in any of my cybersecurity videos, here is one I would recommend for you. It's the Information System Security Officer Training. This course comes with tons of videos, a CAP, which is the Certified Authorization Professional Boot Camp, comes with quizzes, comes with a certificate of completion, resume template, ebook, monthly live Q&A sessions, the ability to ask questions as well and get a response back in 48 hours. Also has interview prep and job prep. So this is a power-packed course. For more information, visit www.cyberfirstacademy.com. Thanks.